Tuesday night Kreuger show. Look who's in the house. Woo-wee. Raj is in the house wearing Niner gear with the Kittle pennant, the Bosa shirt representing the fallen hero. We're going to start off our conversation with Nick Bosa. Join us, a big Tuesday nighter, Raj. Brought to you by Pig and a Pickle. A lot of people talking pig and a pickle. Let's go. Fire up the band. I'm watching the Giants and the Cardinals. Deep drive to left. But it stays in the yard. Adamas does not go yard. Giants up 8-3 on the Cardinals. I'm in a great mood tonight. Tuesday night. Raj is here. We're talking Niners. We're going to try to lift you up. Bosa's done for the year. All right. What's next? What's next? This thing ain't done. We haven't even gotten to October yet, for crying out loud. We're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. And they do run out, so get there early. Get some brisket. Get some brisket chili. Tell them that Kreuger sent you. Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. I was just there a few weeks ago. My son was playing out in Marin, and so I went by, and you know what? I had some of the brisket chili. And it is just awesome. The brisket chili is just absolutely amazing. And I've had a lot of different chilies, but chili with brisket, the texture, it's just perfect. It's just perfect, and it's got the right spice. So if you're in there, go get the brisket with the chili. Also, the potato chips, the house-made potato chips, they bag them every day right there. It's like kind of the most incredible potato chip of all time. The same rub they put on the barbecue chicken, they put on these potato chips, and then they cook them in beef fat, and they're just freaking amazing. Just amazing. A potato chip cooked in beef fat is unbelievable.
Sounds good. Now you got me hungry, Larry.
In fact, the show's over. Let's get out of here. We're going to Pig and a Pickle. We'll see you guys later. We're also brought to you by Sleeper. 49er football season is presented by Sleeper, the fastest growing fantasy platform in the world. Maybe the universe, but only this world is the only one we're thinking of. It's a one-stop shop. You get blazing fast news, real-time stats, group chat, season-long leagues, and, of course, Sleeper picks for daily fantasy. Use the promo code Larry, and Sleeper will match your first deposit up to $100. Up to a C note. That's right. Links in the description. Terms and conditions apply. We are dominant. I mean, the Kreuger show's doing well, but our ability to pick winners in Sleeper is off the chain. I think we've won 4 times. And like we're talking about multi prop parlays, three leggers, 4 leggers sometimes. And we've hit. We've turned $5 into 40. We've turned $5 into 80 one time, I believe, or 70, 78, something like that. So we've been hot, and we will do that coming up in a bit. But one of the stories of the day, we start with the story of the day, and that is that the 49ers have a little coverage on the Nick Bosa contract. I don't know if this is going to be any consolation because the Niners just lost one of their best players, and he's not going to be back for the rest of the year, and it's a huge, huge kick to the gut for the 49ers. But the 49ers will be receiving, Raj, $7 million in 2026 cap space from an insurance policy that they took out on Bosa's 5-year, $170 million contract. So because of that, they regain a little bit of money. So that is a overall, if you're looking for a good thing, that's a good thing. But let's get to the Bosa discussion. You and I have not talked since the game. How did you process the news? How do you view the team, come after 3 games, with Bosa? And now, obviously, we know that they're going to have to play without Bosa. Give me your thoughts. I haven't talked to you about this.
Yeah, I mean, it was a gut-wrenching notification when we all found out. I'm sure I was, just as sad as everybody else, maybe more, as my favorite player. Nick Bosa is a game changer. You know how great he is when he's on the team. You've seen the stats. How much pressures they get when he's there, how many sacks he's had. over the last couple years. He's a defensive player of the year. He's a defensive rookie of the year. Like, he's a game changer, and he came in this season in unbelievable shape. He always does, but it's like every year it's like he's in the best shape of his career, right? It's amazing what he does, how he prepares himself, and he was ready to be just better than he's ever been. That was his goal, is to be known as one of the best. And he still gets a lot of flack after he signed the contract. People says he wasn't showing up, gets a lot of double teams. He opens it up for Huff and everybody else. So it's gonna be a huge loss. Trent Williams, after the game, said it's going to take at least 2 to 3 guys to absorb the loss of him. You don't just replace a Nick Bosa. He's a very productive player. Even if he's not getting sacks, he's generating pressures. Like I said, the double teams. He's unbelievable. It's going to be hard to account for him. He's a captain. He's a leader. So, yeah, definitely devastated losing him. But I don't think it's over. I think the difference this year before, like if it was last year, the team would have been done without Robert Saleh. I think he is the key. They got a lot of young guys. They got a lot of hungry guys. Fred Warner's still there. It's just the energy is different in that locker room. Like, you could tell. It's like, okay, we got more adversity. We just got to keep rolling, man. And, it's not the only injury we have. It's crazy. We're 3-0 despite the adversity. I think Robert Saleh is going to be able to fix this up and, lead us. And there's a lot of young players. They're going to step up. They're going to learn real quick. I do think they have to grab a player or two to absorb this loss. Obviously, you can't do it right overnight. They have to do their due diligence, see who's available, see who's doing fire sales, and kind of assess the team in the next 2 to 3 weeks. But it's a big loss to this team. You can't sit there and say it's not. You can't sit there and say that they're going to just march along. They do have to replace him somehow, figure out a way. I'm sure we'll talk about it. But, yeah, man, I was heartbroken, Larry. I was just like, oh, man, because the initial reports, they said, it appears he didn't tear the ACL, but they got to get further testing because they didn't rule it out.
That's always the kiss of death.
It's the kiss of death. And, I was sitting there going, oh, man, I don't know. Because as a PT, when you hear that, you're like, doesn't smell good. But after the –
I don't think it's broken.
But we still need more testing. And you could tell, like, I think they just wanted to, like, make sure. It's like, I don't know. But initial tests sometimes, could be a false positive or, whatever the case is. And, the moment he put that thumbs down, I was like, that's not a good sign, man. I think he knew. Like, when you get an injury like that, you kind of like feel, especially him. He's had 3 torn ACLs in his career dating back to high school. So I think he knew. And that's what like really was brutal, because I think he knew. He gave the thumbs down. His parents checked on him at halftime or sometime in the locker room. I think it was kind of like brewing. And it just was, that's a gut punch for us, gut punch for Nick, because he was on pace to have a fantastic season.
So I didn't see him exactly on the play when I'm watching it live. And then I hear, somebody, maybe it was Husak, said, hey, Bosa's limping towards the sideline pretty bad. Yeah. But I was still looking downfield. And then I saw him laying down on the sideline about, right off the playing field. And I thought maybe, if a guy's going to the ground that fast, maybe it's just a really bad cramp. You know what I mean? And maybe, that's and he's the guy's super muscle bound. It's, it's a sunny day, Northern California. Maybe he's just got maybe he's got a cramp. And then, I'm watching him on the binoculars, and he starts to walk, and he's walking with a lot of pain. And then, but he's walking. So you're like, okay, maybe he's going to walk this one off or whatever. Maybe he got his bell rung. Maybe he lost his air, that kind of thing. Players lose their air. And then he looks up to the crowd. I'm still on the binoculars, and he finds his family, and he gives them the thumbs down. And I'm thinking to myself, there is nobody that is more in tune with their body than Nick Bosa.
That's what I thought.
This is a guy's had major injuries. He's missed whole seasons. And I also know Nick Bosa's personality a little bit from being around him. And his personality, he's not a drama guy. So he's not going to be like, oh, down. But, it's actually, I'm a miraculous. I only missed a series and I'm back. It's like if he's going thumbs down to his family, that means he's cooked. He knew he was cooked. And not only that, like, he was trying to like jog in place and stuff. Like if you tear your ACL, you can go run straight and you can do those moves. You can't laterally move. Like you could tell he wasn't trying to do any lateral movements. I think he was just trying to like feel his body out. And rewatching it, because I went back and watched the 22 film. Oh man, the play it happened on, you could see his knee plant. The way Bosa plays, and this is probably why he's had 3 ACL tears. He gets down so low in that stance,
It's incredible how he just like blows off the line and he turns, right? And that torsion on that knee, it must be so much force, but he does it so good. But that little turn, you can see when he plants, sometimes you have to be 100% like planted so good. And you could see it. I watched it and his knee kind of like gave when he plant. And I'm like, me and my PT friends at work, we were watching it. They were like analyzing it, break it down. And I'm just like, oh, man, you could see it. And it's just bad luck. It's just the way his body's built and the way he moves.
Well, it's the way he's built his body into him.
Yeah.
His natural walk around weight. Some Jess or Jesus finished. Jesus is truth says Raj knows, Larry. He's a doctor. Raj is a doctor, ladies and gentlemen. I am just a guy sitting here, but I know enough about players and enough about body types to tell you that Nick Bosa is a 240 to 250 pound man who plays between 270 and 280. Yeah. And that's the truth. So he's done a lot of training to put an extra 20 pounds on his frame. Now he's got a 6'4" frame, so it's a big frame, and it's pretty natural, but he's also really maxed out. He's absolutely maxed out as far as his size to that spot. I mean, I think, he's probably would be better, as a more of a speed guy and give away some pounds against the run and be more like 260. Maybe that's what he'll come back as after the surgery. We'll see, but he's pretty yoked up, and there's a lot of weight on there, and that just like a vehicle, it's hard to handle curves and turns when you got a heavier car, and it's the same thing. I mean, he's up at 270, so he can be more of a force against the run. He is more of a force against the run. Man. I know. He's awesome, but at Ohio State, he's probably played at like 255 or something like that, and now he's almost 20 pounds more than that. So I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not pointing fingers.
No, there's nobody to blame.
That's what he is.
There's nobody to blame. He's just a big muscular guy. There's a lot of force, and it's an unfortunate situation. It's happened to him multiple times. I will say the time he did it in New York in the Jets game,
it's more turf related.
That field was so bad, and you could see his foot got like stuck when he planted. That was bad. This one, there's nothing you could do. It was honestly watching it, and I hate to say this, I think it would have happened at some point down the line, just the way he's built, the way he plays. I hate to say that, but I hope he could come back at a high level. You're right. He's not going to have to play. He can't play the same way. He has to change it up. But can he come back and change his ability as a speeder? I don't know, man. I love Nick Bosa, so I really hope he could come back and be at a high level. It's going to be hard to replace him, but I think the Niners, I think they'll do their due diligence. I think they'll bring someone in a few weeks. The way I see it is, okay, they're going to play the Jaguars. They got to see what their team's about, right? Like post Bosa, they got to see the optics. They got to see who's doing what, kind of get that feel of this team. And then short turnaround, you can't really sign anybody and get anybody in the room until, with the Rams game. So those 2 weeks, see what you got with this team post Bosa. They'll probably put Travis Gibson or Robert Beal or somebody or Seabass on the roster this weekend just to get some depth. And then after that, see what teams are doing fire sales, see what's going around in the league, make some calls, and they'll probably make a trade. But you kind of need to see what your team's all about in the next few weeks without Bosa. But like Trent Williams said, man, it's crazy because he said it was like all in our minds. Like, you could tell Trent just has so much respect for a guy like Nick Bosa, and it was like weighing heavy on him. And he was thinking, man, when he said that on the post game, the press conference, because they said initially, right, he might have cleared the ACL, and then Trent comes up and he goes, I don't know, man. It seems like what was the word he used? I can't remember exactly, but he said it was definitely like he was saying how it was like bad vibes and stuff. So I don't know. At that point, I was like, man, it could be an ACL, could be something else. I was praying, man, that it was nothing that serious.
I always hated it as a kid as a little kid at recess when, you'd beat the crap out of somebody at lunchtime in some sport. And then they would be like, we weren't really trying, we weren't really trying. And then I always be like, yeah, you were really trying, it's just, you just got beat. And that's what you say when you get beat and you lose face. But I'd love to know how the Niners themselves feel about this year, because I've had people maintain with total confidence to me that this is all about 2026 and that the Niners are all about 2026. And I just don't feel that at all. I feel like it's all Dieter. I guess somebody said Dieter here.
Dieter says it's all about 2026.
Yeah,
well,
Dieter
they cut
was
a lot
saying
of cap.
this.
Yeah, and they're trying to
Dieter
build
was
this
saying this,
roster up.
that it's all about 2026, and it's always been about 2026. And I don't see it that way, because there's no way in my mind the Niners' top players are going to be better in 26 than they are in 25. I mean, it's just like I'm not saying that 26 is going to be a nightmare. I'm just saying why there's nothing about 2025 unless you feel like these rookies cannot be coached up, or you don't have the right rookies and you missed in the draft. If then I understand. But like the Niners last time the Niners won the Super Bowl, they leaned on 3 or 4 major rookies. It was Bryant Young. It was William Floyd. It was Tyrone Drakeford. It was Doug Bryan. They leaned on a lot of rookies that year, key spots. Bar none was their starting fullback.
Yeah.
Bryant Young played every snap at defensive tackle next to Dana Stubblefield.
Played every snap that season.
I don't know if every snap. He played every game, and he was the starter from beginning to end. He wasn't like a rookie who played a little. He was like the guy.
He was like the Fred Warner. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's an amazing player, a future Hall of Famer. Yeah. So I'm just saying that, just because you have to lean on some rookies doesn't mean that your season is done. I think internally, maybe you promote both Trevis Gibson and Robert Beal Jr. and because that's a lot to lose Bosa. It's a lot. You may need all hands on deck. So maybe promote both those guys. I like Gibson. He had 7 sacks with the Bears a few years ago. He's not like he's a total disaster.
No, he's
got talent. And Beal, maybe Beal comes of age. I mean, they need it. I mean, it's now or never for him. It's now or never for Beal.
If he does it now, he's never going to do anything. Absolutely, 100%.
But I don't think it's all about 2026. I get the vibe that they're very, very about 2025. Now, the question is, if you're all about 2026, then you don't trade for anybody and you just go with what you got and wing it. But how do the Niners view themselves is the question. How does Shanahan view this year? How does Lynch view this year? I mean, it's clear that Shanahan said, to SiriusXM right before the season, hey, it's it's gonna be tough. There's gonna be growing pains. We just hope to get healthy and get better as the season goes in, get in the playoffs, and then anything can happen. Instead, they're off to a 3-0 start and looking really good, like one of the better teams in the NFC and a team that can win with multiple quarterbacks. They've already kind of proven that. So what are the Niners? And I guess the big question is, what's your expectation? What do you think their expectation is of themselves?
Yeah, I don't think it's about 2026. I mean, obviously they want to build a team. They want to build a roster. That's why they got younger, so they can continue to be a winning franchise over the next
sustainable. Yeah.
Obviously, you want to sustain winning rosters. It's part of what you're doing, right? You want to lose because then you're out of there. Your front office is out of there. But I mean, listen, their Super Bowl is in Levi Stadium. I think the goal, obvious, 100% is like, let's do what we got to do to get to the damn Super Bowl. If we can't win a Super Bowl in our house, when are we going to win a Super Bowl, right? So you have a built-in home field advantage if you can get there. Not all your star players are going to be here forever. Trent Williams might be on his last year, right? Fred Warner is amazing. How long is he going to be continuing to play at this peak level? George Kittle, right? Brock Purdy, all these guys, they're so good. They're not going to be amazing forever. So you built this team, to make it to the Super Bowl. Absolutely. Christian McCaffrey, he's got maybe 1 or 2 more prime elite years. Running backs, they don't last that much, especially the way they're using Christian McCaffrey, leads the NFL in total touches. Their team is built to win a Super Bowl. Are you kidding me? This year, also with this quote unquote easy schedule, you got to take advantage of it. So I think the Niners are hell bent, focused on trying to make a run. You're gonna have adversity, whatever. There's adversity on any team every year, but they're 3-0 despite it, and they're gonna get healthy. They're gonna get Ayuk back. They're gonna get Jennings back. They're gonna get Purdy back. They're going to get Malik Mustafa back. They're going to get a lot of guys back. It sucks you lost Bosa. They'll figure it out. They'll get some guys. They'll rotate whoever they have. You got Robert Saleh. You don't have Nick Sorensen walking through that door. Thank God. This team is built to win a Super Bowl if they can continue to, stack these wins. And somehow, if they can get a good seed in the playoffs, I think they can make a run because, again, they're not playing for 2026. The Super Bowl's in Levi's this year. you have to try to make that run. And I think the team is 100% trying to do that.
So then it's about who are they going to get. Immediately, I was on Monday with Greg Papa, and he immediately was like, "Hey, what do you think? Can they go out? Can they get Trey Hendrickson?" And I'm like, "Wow! I mean, Trey Hendrickson is not just a good replacement; he could be an upgrade. He's had 35 sacks the last 2 years. This guy's, and he's already got 5 quarterback hits this year, and a couple sacks. I mean, he's a big time guy. If you got that guy, that's the statement. I mean, the front office can speak to the locker room. If the front office does absolutely nothing, then it's their way of saying, "Hey guys, we don't really believe that much in our chances this year. We're not mad at anybody, but we're also not going to extend for any extra players because we think we got a shot, but it's not our year." Okay, so they could say that, or they could say, "Hey, there will be no excuses," and Trey Hendrickson walks through that door and they, draft capital in 26 and 27, be damned. And here he comes. Tim Kawakami just wrote a long article in the SF Standard where he outlines the 49ers and his idea going with a conditional, like a 3 condition type trade. It could be one of 3 levels of compensation based on what he does, what the Niners do, does he resign, so on and so forth. I don't know if they could do a deal like that and protect themselves. What do you think? I mean, initially I would say it's not even worth discussing because NFL trades don't happen, but now you got Joe Burrow out for the year, and the Bengals did not get this guy signed long-term. They just signed him for 1 year.
Yeah.
So they're really just, I would say the likelihood of Trey Hendrickson getting traded is like probably high 90s.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna move him and get some compensation. Because why not? He's walking at the end of the year, and I think everybody knows it. So, what do you think? I mean, should the Niners go after the ultimate prize in Trey Hendrickson, or do you think a different type deal is what you would prefer?
No, absolutely. Go run it in and try to get the big money move. Like try to get Trey Hendrickson. It would be a 1-year deal. Itd be a rental, right?
What if it costs you your first round pick?
Yeah,
because I think your first round pick is spoken for, man.
They're not going to get a first round pick for Trey Hendrickson. They'll get different pick. Like I know they talk the talk. The Bengals front office is a joke. They'll cave in and take a 3rd round pick. Trust me. He's 30 years old.
Well, 3rd round pick. Oh my God, you got to do it.
Listen. Trey Hendrickson, he wants out of the Bengals. He had to stay there. He got a little bit of extra cash on his contract. They didn't want to pay him. He knows he's out of here after that season. So even if he goes to the Niners and he doesn't extend, he don't fucking care. He wants to get paid somewhere. If he goes to the Niners, a championship potentially caliber team, if you go there, right? Joe Burrow's not walking through the Bengals door for months, right? So you come to the Niners, who they're still winning games, right? He comes here and he goes all out. If he goes out and he replaces Bosa and he has like 10, 12 sacks, he's going to get paid. If it's with the Niners or not, it doesn't matter to him. He wants to get paid. So it would be a great decision for him to come here. I don't think we need to give up a first-round pick. Listen, these trades these days, you see some players get traded, and you're like, how the hell did they get them for this? Christian McCaffrey didn't go for first-round pick. There's a lot of players that they'll go for first-round pick. The first-round pick.
Micah Parsons went for multiple first-round picks.
Well, Micah Parsons is a little younger. Trey Hendrickson, great player. He's 30 years old. Like, how much more years is he going to sustain a high level? I think you don't have to give up a first-round pick. Good player.
Yeah, you're probably right.
You can get him for a cheaper value. If you don't get him, okay, whatever. There's other players. There's Trayvon Walker. There's Kayvon Thibodeau. Maybe Brian Burns. Again, there's going to be some teams that are fire selling, and maybe you can go get Brian Burns. Maybe Azeez Ojulari. Like, there are going to be players, but you want to get if you're trying to make a run to Super Bowl and you feel you can get a rental of Hendrickson, go do it, right? Because then Bosa's come back next year. You figure that out. You can whatever you got to do with his contract. But I wouldn't mind any one of those guys. They need to get somebody that's going to be productive. That's the bottom line. Like, whoever they get, it just can't be some mediocre player. They have to be able to bring in a guy that's going to get, production. Because, look, we could sit here and say they're going to bring in Robert Beal and Trevin Gibson and rotate them. They're not as good as Nick Bosa. And you need a guy that's going to be able to demand those double teams. Because Bryce Huff is great. He's going to do a lot. Because Robert Saleh knows how to get the most out of him. Best time in his career was with the Jets. Eagles, they didn't use him right. He's playing great right now. but you still need another guy to take some pressure off of everybody. Because now we're going to put a lot of pressure on the rookie, Mykel Williams. I think he'll do good, but we still need another guy to take pressure off of everybody. So
I'd go for Mo Kamara. I like Mo Kamara from the Buccaneers practice squad. I'd go for that. And then I agree. I like the idea of Hendrickson, especially if it's not a day one pick. If it's a day two pick or some series of day two picks, absolutely. And the only reason I feel what's that?
I think that gets it done. Day two picks. I don't think
the only reason I feel good about that is that I just feel like with Chase Young, they didn't know what his motor was, and then we found out that was his issue. And then with this guy, though, this guy's got a crazy motor, so that's the thing. You know, he's going to play super hard, and that's the reason I think it's worth it. It's worth it. Now, the other one that intrigues me is I love Will McDonald and Michael Clemens from the Jets, and it seems like the Niners have gone to the Jets a bunch of times. And I would love to see Will McDonald. Now, Will McDonald is a burgeoning young star. You know, why would the Jets trade him, right? He doesn't even make a lot of money, and neither does Michael Clemens, I'm sure. So, but, you know, they were drafted by a previous regime. Sometimes when you realize you're not going anywhere, you know, GMs and coaches are like, hey, let's move a couple pieces and get our own guys. There's another, idea, Jermaine Johnson from the Jets. Who, you know, Robert Saleh had. Jermaine Johnson was a really good player. I think he's got an injury right now, but he might not be bad. So I there's a bunch of guys out there. I mean, I was looking at the list. Carl Granderson and Cam Jordan in New Orleans, Thibodeau and Brian Burns. You mentioned that. Arden Key in Tennessee, Thomas Incoop in Carolina, Trayvon Walker in Jacksonville. Was there one that you said there?
Yes, I said Trayvon. Yeah, you know, there's a possibly they could even get. I mean, what if Cam Jordan, you know, wasting his time with the Saints? Maybe go get Cam Jordan, veteran. You know, I know he's a little on the older side, but he's still a good player.
He is a good player. Houston looks terrible. They have Darrell Taylor and Derek Barnett. Cincinnati's got not just Hendrickson, they got Joe Osai from Texas. We just mentioned the Jets have a bunch of guys. Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb in Miami. There's some teams that aren't going anywhere that do have some guys. You could also sign Carl Lawson if you want. He's a free agent. As I said, Mo Kamara and Kamon Rucker are the two young defensive ends, and Braden Swinson are the three young defensive ends that are on practice squads that I could see them going for. They love their old guys. So Cleve Farrell is on the Chargers practice squad. They love bringing back guys they've had before. So they've had him before. So I could see Cleve Farrell coming back.
Yeah.
There's I'm not too excited about him, though.
I mean, he's not going to be big time move, but if they just trying to get depth guys, it might be the move. I can see them doing it. Again, there's a lot of big names. It just really depends on what they feel they need. And that's why these next 2-3 weeks is going to be crucial for the 49ers in assessing their roster. They really need to see what they're doing without Nick Bosa. So this Jaguars game, very crucial to see what they can do, you know, and then Rams, it's a huge test to see, you know, what this defense can do, division game. And I think after that Rams game, I think they'll really know, okay, this is what we're missing. This is what we need to go after. This is who's available. Like I said, after this Rams game, I think we'll get a big sense of who the Niners are going to target. I mean, there's a lot of names. We can sit here, speculate, play the name game, but we won't really know until, a couple weeks. I don't think they're going to do anything soon. I'll be surprised if they do anything soon, but hey, you never know. This team.
Well, I mean, that's the thing.
You never know.
There's so many weeks left. So if you wait a couple weeks, then at least you have some assurances that you're not getting injured in other areas. Yeah. I mean, if it just turns out that the next 3 weeks, you lose a premier player all 3 weeks, then maybe you don't trade anybody because you're just not your year. I think you do have to let it play out a couple of weeks, unless you have a deal out there for somebody. I mean, if somebody wants real good compensation for Trey Hendrickson, but then maybe you'll see him do it sooner, just from the standpoint they get more out of him. If they're not gonna, if they're really gonna have to pay a high price tag and they want to pay it, I don't know. I think it's too easy to say go get Trey Hendrickson. I think it's probably more likely that they find, kind of like they've done in the past with Charles Omenihu and Jordan Willis, secondary pieces that provide some depth and who knows? I do think there's a practice squad pluck or two. Somebody could be plucked off a practice squad that could help. All right, 49er Football on the Kreuger Show is presented by Sleeper, the fastest growing fantasy platform in the world. It's a one-stop shop. You get blazing fast news, real-time stats, group chats, season-long leagues, and, of course, Sleeper picks for daily fantasy, where you choose 2 to 8 players pregame or live and pick more or less on their projected stats. If you're new to it, use the promo code Larry. You'll get a 100% deposit match up to $100 on your first deposit. The link is right there in the description. Terms and conditions apply. All right, let's make our lineup.
Is it for a Thursday night game, right? I think that's the Niners game's not in yet.
This is Cardinals Seahawks. Working at Cardinals Seahawks Thursday nighter.
Let's do it. All right.
I'm putting Jackson Smith and the Jigba. Let's start there because he's been really, really good.
I'm putting my chips on JSN to go over. Bro had the flu on Sunday. I benched him on one of my fantasy teams. Was that a wrong decision? He went out there, had a flu game type performance. So
he's great.
I'm smashing that more on him.
Which one do you like more? Which one do you like? Do you like more than 80.5? Do you like more than 6.5? I almost like both.
Man, I don't know. Actually, I think 6.5 might be
the better one.
No, I'm going to take the yards. I think he's going to have a cool.
Yeah, let's go with the yards. Weather until the weather gets bad. Go with those yards. He's going to
go with the yards
every time. Now let's see Kenneth Walker. Charbonnet's hurt. They usually share time, but now Walker's getting all the run. He had 16 carries this last week. That's not great, but they were a big. That seems kind of low. Let's see, an anytime touchdown for K9.
Yeah, well, let's take the anytime tutty. I think Kenneth Walker goes one in.
There we go. We got that. Now let's go over the Cardinals. It's gonna be a big day for Benson, you would think, because there is no James Conner.
Is there over under on drops for Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Oh gosh.
Oh,
man. So bad.
Oh.
They don't do negative stats.
They don't do negative stats. I'd smash that more.
Swim in the negative.
What's Trey McBride looking like? I think Trey McBride's prime for a big game.
Let's see what he looks like. You can go anytime touchdown there. You can go 66 receiving yards. It seems kind of like a lot.
Seems low, yeah. I'll take the tutty or the yards. Either one sounds good to me.
Yeah, let's go with the touchdown. I think he's a guy that's going to score a lot.
You didn't get a tutty? Okay.
Let's go one more here. Let's see. Who else?
Kyler.
Kyler? Is there a Kyler?
Come on, Kyler. What do we got with Kyler?
What do we got for Kyler? 30.5 rush yards, 209 pass yards,
5 rush attempts. Pass plus rush yards.
Let's go interception. An anytime interception.
You're going to take an interception?
Yeah.
Think he throws one?
Yeah, I do. I mean, Seattle's got a really good secondary. It's in Seattle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Their defense is really good. It's a short week.
Okay.
Let's go with a pick.
Let's see what we got. I like those.
It's going to pay big. It's going to pay big.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got here? We got 4 to win. Is that 80? Is that what? 4 to win, $5 to win 64.35.
Roll that, baby.
Jackson Smith, JSN has to go with 81 yards. Kyler Murray's got to throw a pick. Kenneth Walker's got to score a touchdown. Trey McBride's got to score a touchdown. If all 4 of those things happen, we win 64-35. Thank you, Sleeper. Cha-ching. Big thanks to Sleeper. Remember, use code Larry for a 100% deposit match up to $100. Links right in the description. Terms apply. Help support the show and gets you rolling on the #1 sports app in the country. Sleeper. All right. You've been touting Mykel Williams.
I have, Larry.
You've been talking him up, and your guy had a big game.
Yeah,
big game.
Tell me about it.
We have a highlight here. Let's see if I can play it. We got Chris. No. I retweeted. Let me take a look. Put the Mykel up here.
Put him on.
First of all, let's check the stats because there's a stat that also is really good.
You're coming around, Larry.
Here we go. We got this one. Mykel Williams pressure percentage. Week 1, 0%.
Okay.
Week 2, 3.4%. Week 3, 13.8%. Wow, that's pretty big. Mykel Williams' win percentage as a rusher in each game. Week 1, 0%.
Okay.
Week 2, 10%. Week 2, 20.7%.
Wow.
Those are big. Those are big numbers. Courtesy
It's almost like he's getting better every week, and rookies improve on a weekly basis, Larry.
He's definitely getting better. He is definitely
I'm
getting better.
I tried to tell you.
Stop. I tried to.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna make you eat crow all season long because he's a dog, man.
Yeah, like you discovered him.
I didn't discover him, but we sat here and argued after week 1. Oh, Shamar Stewart. Oh my God.
Shamar Stewart's played well. It's not about Shamar Stewart. Shamar Stewart's played well. It's not about.
So has Mykel Williams.
We don't have to bag on Shamar Stewart.
No,
we can just agree that they're both good. Because Shamar's kicked butt with Cincinnati, but Mykel has looked great with the Niners. And this play, you're going to see it kind of on a loop here, but he just beats up the tight end in the run game. Now, here's the question. Is he ready to play defensive end for Bosa? Do you put him full time? Is he your answer? Or do you put Gross Matos out there and make Gross Matos your answer? Or do you keep them both inside and see if you can pull a guy like Gibson or Beal off the practice squad and keep those guys inside? How would you play your hand here now that Bosa's out of the mix?
I think you got to keep Mykel primarily inside. You can maybe move him a little bit outside, but I mean, he's doing so good at, playing that inside role and rushing from the inside. I think you could kind of get him out there a couple times. I think Yetur Gross-Matos could probably play on that outside a little bit better right now at this point in his career. And then you can rotate him with like Beal or Gibson or whoever the hell they bring in. But I want to keep Mykel doing what he's doing. He's doing really good from that interior rush. He's setting he's great at run defense. Like there was you saw the play where he just blows up the run. He comes in and he collapses. That's the kind of stuff I love from Mykel Williams, and that's what we're going to get. So I think it's going to be a committee, but I think you could put him out there a few times. I think they'll put YGM out there a couple times, and then they'll rotate with whoever they bring in. And then, like I said, that's what the Niners are really going to do is they have to see what packages work. We're going to see a lot of different players on different packages the next couple of weeks. I think they have to kind of decide. They got to tinker with things. I think it's going to be like science. It's going to be like a research project for the 49ers and Robert Saleh. But I trust the man, and I think he's going to do what we need to do. Him and Chris Kasurek, I got faith in those boys.
Here is if you like that, you're really going to love this.
I love this play because it's my boy.
This is our guy Baldy doing a little breakdown on Mykel.
Oh yeah, I saw this. This is good.
And here it is for those of you who have not seen it. Let's rewind it. Here we go.
On a day when Nick Bosa only played 13 snaps and finished to his day, Mykel Williams picked up the slack. I mean, on this third down right here, he just tackles everybody. McBride, Connor, everyone just tackles the whole thing. Now, you watch Bryce Huff come. I mean, the guy, here he is on third down, getting doubled. He gets his hands up in the air. Bam, batted up in the air, incomplete. Bosa's he's not getting off the field. No. Let Huff let him know, man, welcome to the fraternity, bro. This is what it's all about. And then you just watch him. Like, he's just a Bugatti off the edge.
Bugatti.
Double him, and here it is. Like, it's hard to make an accurate throw when the Bugatti is just dumping you to the ground. Incomplete pass. And then 3rd and 1. You watch Bryce Huff off the edge and Fred right here. 3rd and 1, how they just stop James Conner cold. Both of them. Fred low, Huff high. Both get off the blocks. And then you just watch how Huff closes right here. Him and Mykel right here. Together.
Look at this.
Here they both come. At Kyler Murray. Down goes. That closes out the half right there.
Come on, Kyler.
And then you watch this right here, okay? Huff's going to play the keeper. Mykel's going to split the double team inside. They're both going to meet at the ball carrier. I mean, guys had to pick up the slack when Bosa went out, and that guy is going to be a monster. And Bryce Huff and Fred, that was a pretty good day, pretty good looking defensive front in that game.
There you go. So if you like the last one, you're going to love that one. So what are we really seeing here? Why don't we talk about that for a second? Why have the Niners gotten off to this defensive start? I think what you're seeing more than anything is you're seeing a lot more speed, and that's the name of the game. That's what makes bad teams good teams. What's the difference between a bad team and a good team? Speed. When the Niners went to the Super Bowl against the Chiefs the first time around in 2019, the Niners and the Chiefs were the two fastest teams in the entire NFL, according to the GPS. Where have the Niners fallen behind in recent years? Well, you saw last year when Kyler Murray ran for 50 yards right by Devondre Campbell. They lost their speed on all three levels. So what did they do this year? They went and they got their speed back. Mykel and Huff represent speed up front. Winters represents an unbelievable upgrade in speed from Campbell. And then on the third level, Siegel runs in the 4.3s. He's very, very fast. He's helped quite a bit. And Upton Stout is a blur. Yeah. He's an absolute blur. He's super fast. He's really, really fast. So they've added speed on all three levels of their defense. And I think that's why what you're seeing is real. I don't think, I know they're going to miss Bosa, but like when we're talking about, okay, what's the best plan? I think the best plan, instead of trying to get like big, instead of a Cleveland Farrell, who's a 273 pound, rusher, who's not very quick, but man, he's really good against the run. I think I would, instead of trying to go for that, I'd like to see them go for like a Kamara, Will McDonald, somebody who's really, really fast, because speed is going to win in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. When the Niners get to the playoffs, both offensively and defensively, the teams that have, the good quarterbacks and quality line, that's going to matter. But it's also going to matter speed on both sides of the ball, especially on defense. And you're not going to find somebody like Bosa, who's 270, but you're going to be able to find probably a couple guys that can really press the edge. And you're not going to be as good against the run. But that's the way I'd go. I'd rather see them go with a faster, smaller Will McDonald type guy than try to find somebody who's 275, 280, because Mykel's going to set that edge in the run game. But I think the difference up front is Huff and Bosa are so dynamic off the edge, and it's just created lots of room. And Gross Matos has looked great inside too, because they got a lot of room in there because of how fast their edge rushers are. So I just hope they can find somebody that can give them some speed.
Yeah, that's what they need. Speed kills. If you can get past someone's offensive line and you're in the backfield all day, you're going to give them problems. And, a lot of these quarterbacks, they're athletic, and you need to be able to keep up with their speed. And if you got a statue quarterback, if you're running right at them and they can't, there's nothing they can do. So speed 100%. We don't need power guy. I mean, Niners that's why they wanted Robert Beal. They thought that guy was just going to be a blur off the edge. He just hasn't put it together, and he's been hurt. So hopefully whoever they bring in can get to the backfield fast. Another guy we didn't talk about who I think is going to have to really step up. I like Sam O. I think he's going to have to really kind of take it up a notch. He's been okay here and there, but I think he's going to have a bigger role going forward. I don't think anybody's talked about Sam O, but I liked him last year, and I feel like he's kind of gotten off to a slow start this year, but I think he'll pick it up now that Bosa's out.
Super underrated player for sure. All right. Next topic I want to hit. Give me a player or two that you haven't talked up, that you now after 3 games, you're like, hey, you know what? I haven't talked this guy up before, but you know what? 3 games in, I'm going to give him his flowers.
Yeah, this is a good question. I thought about this one before we went on. You told me, and I'm going to say Colton McKivitz. I don't give him a lot of praise. I know a lot of Niner fans they hate the guy, whatever the case is. He got his contract extension. Listen, I think he's going to be a future captain on this team. Like, you could tell he's kind of got that leadership role. I was watching that mic'd up, and he's a good leader out there. And not only that, he's played pretty good in pass rush. He's what I think PFF stats, he's on the metrics. He's like 11th, 12th in PFF pass protection. Run blocking could be better for the whole Niners offense. They're not really running the ball well, per clip. They're the only team without a rushing touchdown. But other than that, pass protection, he's been great. You saw him hit that pancake block on the weekend. That was amazing. But I think Colton McKivitz has really improved this year. And I know a lot of people are going to sit there, oh, Colton's trash. He's actually been pretty good in terms of pass protection. I'm pleasantly surprised with Colton, and I think that he's definitely a guy that I did not expect to, go out there and be one of the solid players on this team. He's been good.
I got two. One is Jake Brendel. Unbelievably, he's one of the NFL's highest rated centers right now. 79.1 PFF overall grade. That's second among 44 centers in the league. Second.
Pretty good.
68.7 pass blocking grade. That's 12th, which is not great, but it's not terrible. 79.2 run blocking grade is third best among all centers in the NFL. Now, how is that possible, Raj? They're averaging 3 yards a carry. They can't run up the middle to save their life, and their center is the third best run blocking center in the sport, and their running back's Christian McCaffrey. That's so. What are we supposed to take? Are we supposed to believe? I'm crediting the guy, so I'm obviously he's allowed 0 sacks and only 4 pressures. The 4 pressures ranked 35th among centers. But, the run blocking grade, I find that very hard to believe, even though I'm citing it, but I find it hard to believe. They're not running well.
I'm surprised his metrics are that good. I mean, shout out to Jake Brendel. Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, hey, like I said, I gave flowers to Colton McKivitz. I didn't think I'd be sitting here. You give him flowers to Jake Brendel. We didn't think he'd be sitting here say that. Another guy that I want to give some props to that I didn't probably think I'd be doing this a couple of weeks ago is probably going to be what's his name? I just had it off the top of my head and I can't believe I forgot. It's give me a second. Let me I just forgot.
Well, I'll give you my second one. My second one is Jordan Elliott. Okay. Jordan Elliott is emerging. He's got a 72 PFF grade, which is a very good grade, 71 pass rush grade, 4 pressures, 17.1% pass rush win rate. That's 12th among defensive tackles in the NFL. Jordan Elliott's not playing, every snap. He's playing in a rotation, right? And Chris, but they've done a nice job between the complimentary ball they're playing by, dominating time of possession in a couple of the games. That I think has kept him fresh, but he's emerging. He's a veteran. He's always had talent. We're talking about 6'4", 6'5", 310 pounds, very strong, very athletic. This guy started at Texas, went to Missouri. He was always a guy who was like, man, he's got talent. If anybody could ever get it out of him. And I think we're seeing Kasarik get it out of him.
Yeah. He's played a lot better. I mean, last year I was like, I don't know about this guy. He was hurt a lot. He's played good this year. Okay, so I do remember what I was going to say. I got Kalia Davis. He's been pleasantly surprising. He's been healthy. That's the key with him. I feel like he's been a pretty good rotational player on that D-line. I like what I've seen out of him. And then I'm going to tell you the other guy was YGM. He's actually another guy. Those two guys, you couldn't count on him before. It always hurt. Like YGM has actually looked good in the NASCAR package. He's playing healthy. He's made a big difference on this D-line. So, and we mentioned him earlier that he's probably going to have to really step up. I like what I've seen out of him. I'm pretty impressed with him.
Yeah. For those who don't know the acronym, it's Yatir Gross-Matos. And you may not know much about him because he didn't play at all this summer. I mean, he literally did not play at all. Didn't see him in camp. Didn't see him in the preseason. He just showed up. It kind of reminds me when I was playing lacrosse at Sac State. I don't know if I ever told you this story. I played lacrosse in high school. I went out for lacrosse at Sac State. It was kind of more of a club sport, and the guys were kind of, pretty cash about it. We had kind of taken it seriously in high school. So I was kind of bummed out because I'm like, we're just dicking around up here. I mean, we're just absolutely not, nobody's really serious. But after a while, I'm like, who cares? I'll just play and show up. And so, but we started practicing for a sport that was in the springtime. We started practicing like second week of school. So we're practicing all through late August, September, October, November, December. It's a spring sport. We don't really play until we don't really have our first games until like February. So we've been practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing. And I'm like, God, man, for guys who don't take this seriously, we should practice a whole lot. Maybe we could play a game, So now finally it's like end of February, we're playing a game against Sonoma State. right? And I'm fired up. I'm going to start, crease defenseman, fired up. All of a sudden, this guy looks like about 35 years old, shows up in a pickup truck, and everybody's like, "Hey, it's Scotty Jamal, Scotty." Everyone's like, "Scotty, good to see you, bro. Where you been?" Blah, blah, blah. And the guy started.
No.
He started. I mean, I started too, but he started next to me on the defense. And I'm like, "This guy's going to start?" And they're like, "Yeah, man, that's Scotty Jamal. Everybody loves Scotty."
Everybody loves Scotty.
I'm like, Scotty walked onto the field. He was carrying his babies. I mean, I was 19. This guy had like 3 kids.
Oh, my God.
And I remember thinking to myself, God, why is this guy starting? And it's like, you know what? Sometimes, guys come out of nowhere. And I kind of feel that way in this situation.
Yeah.
We didn't see you cheer Gross Matos, and all of a sudden, hey,
YGM, my boy.
YGM, you're here. It's week 1. You're getting all the run. Get out there. Robert feels like, hey, bro, dude, I've been sweating all summer. Sam O's like, man, I've been going crazy trying to make this team, and this guy shows up, and all of a sudden he's starting.
Because he got them nice. He's got some good looking eyes, man. That's YGM looked at Kyle with his killer eyes, and he says, "All right, you got to play. We got like green eyes."
I've never looked into YGM.
I seen a picture. No, I know it sounds weird. I saw a picture. I was like, that guy's got good eyes, bro. Like, honestly, he probably snake charmed Shanahan.
The Cardinals have come back in the Giants. It's now 9-8 Cardinals, top of the 9th. Oh, it's over. Long been over for the Giants. All right, couple other news and notes from today. William Bradley King signed to the practice squad. He's not a bad rusher. He actually, I'm eager to see what he can bring. Now, obviously, he's not going to be Bosa. But the Niners also brought in 5 players for tryouts today, including Dion's kid, Shiloh Sanders, Titus Leo, a 26-year-old defensive end, Isaiah Thomas, who's a linebacker who played at Oklahoma, and then Brandon Joseph, a safety who played at Northwestern and then transferred to Notre Dame, was an undrafted player, and then Jalen Mahoney, who was a Niner, undrafted player, I believe, or was he a draft pick? I forget, but he was in the 24 draft class. Or he was in the 24 draft year.
He was undrafted. Yeah.
He was undrafted. Yeah, undrafted. So those 5 guys were brought in. People, of course, reacted to Dion's son, who ran 4.52 in college. A lot of people think he's a scheme fit. Heck, man, if you're going to go sign a safety, I'd much rather sign Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who's absolutely a freaking amazing player.
Good player, but locker room.
Sanders.
Locker room vibes are not great with him.
I mean, I know what you're saying, but let's take a look at Chauncey Gardner-Johnson for just a second.
He's a good player.
2022, he's in Philly. They go to the Super Bowl. 2023, he leaves Philly. Philly's secondary became horrible without him, and he goes to Detroit. They're great, and only Brock Purdy's amazing second half prevents him from going to the Super Bowl again. Then he goes back to Philly in 24. And they win the Super Bowl. So I know what you're saying, though. Nobody likes this guy.
Yeah.
But he's kind of like nobody likes Draymond Green either. You know what I mean? It's like, but he helps you win.
Yeah.
Nobody liked Charles Haley, but he helped you win. This is a really, really good player. Now, I understand what people are saying. The Niners, he feuded with Debo. He feuded with other Niners. He said a bunch of stuff. And a lot of people view him as a hothead and not very, But let's be real about this. This guy can play either corner. He can play outside corner, slot corner, free safety, strong safety, weak side backer. This guy plays for keeps.
He's versatile.
I would absolutely be willing to let bygones be bygones and have whatever conversation I need to have to make that guy fit, because I think that is a absolute winning player. Now he's in Houston. I bet you he's the kind of guy, and this is just a guess, but Charles Haley was this way. They want to win so bad, and they're so volatile that when your team doesn't win, it's like they just become too much, way too much. Yeah. And it's like all of a sudden everybody's like, dude, anything to get rid of this guy. And I think that's Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. They're 0-3. They're living in hell right now. They're having D'Amico, I'm sure, is feeling terrible. And I bet you anything, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is yelling at people and pointing fingers. And I bet you it's bad. I bet you it's really bad. But, man, this guy is good. This is
He's
a
a good
hell
player.
of a
And I've wanted him before. I remember, as much as I hated him with the Eagles, I remember when he was.
Can you separate your hate from your love?
Yeah, no, 100%. If he's going to help us win games, yeah, great. But I don't think we get him. It'd be great. I think it's more realistic that we go get Deion Sanders' son, Shiloh Sanders. Niner fans are going to lose their mind because they love when we sign former players, legendary players' sons, for whatever reason. I mean, he's okay. I don't think he's that great of a player. He's a development. You put him on the practice squad, let him develop, see where it goes. I'm happy he got a tryout with one of his dad's former team. One of the teams his dad played on. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, it'd be cool, but I mean, I don't think he'd do much for us. If we're gonna get a player that's actually gonna do something for the 49ers, yeah, it's CJ GJ, it's Gardner Johnson. I think that's the guy to get. But I'd much rather get edge help first before we figure that out. But you bring him onto the team, he's gonna help us. He's a good veteran.
What do you think Demarcus Robinson's going to contribute this week?
I think he's going to be a good player because we saw what he did during the preseason and not preseason, but during training camp and everything. He had a great connection with these quarterbacks. Him and Brock were great. Him and Mac were great. I think he's going to be a good possession receiver. He's going to be a good third down. I think he's going to help a lot. I think he could also stretch the field. I don't know if he's going to really do much in this first game because he's kind of got to get his sea legs back under him, kind of get back in the flow of things. He hasn't played, 3-game suspension. I think he's just got to kind of get back in the flow of things. But moving forward, I think he's going to be a big part of this offense. But he might have a decent game, better than you would think, because they're so depleted at wide receiver, right? Jordan Watkins is out. Jacob Cowing's out. Juwan Jennings is dealing with injury. We don't know if he's going to come back this week. If Jennings doesn't play, then, yeah, Ricky Purcell, Demarcus Robinson, they're going to go crazy. But I do think he's going to need a little time to kind of get his sea legs. But if Jennings doesn't play, he's going to get those sea legs under him real quick. So I'm excited for the return of Demarcus Robinson this week. I think he's going to help out a lot. I was intrigued when we signed him in the offseason. 3 games have passed, and now we get some help. That's a huge return for the 49ers, who've been dealing with these injuries at wide receiver. This is a big return for us.
What did you think of the camaraderie? And I'm not big on this kind of stuff. You know me, I'm not big on the rah-rah stuff. I'm not big on the locker room vibe. I really believe that if you have great players, you'll win, and then you'll have good vibes. So I'm not about the good. Go get guys who are good vibes. No. Go get guys who are damn good players. You'll win, and then there'll be good vibes. That's kind of how I see it. I think the Niners have a really good vibe going right now. I don't know if you saw the quarterback thing, but Mac at the end, as Eddie Pinheiro kicks the field goal, gave Taylor Adrian Martinez just this hug like they had been like childhood friends.
I know.
Like these guys had survived some kind of a
it's like they survived the Holocaust together.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, it's like they survived they were going to lose their lives. I've never seen so much emotion. And then their little room there, or their little gather with Brock and
Curtis
you got
Rourke,
and you got the little coach. What's his name? Tiny little guy. What's the tiny little quarterback coach? Mickey Lombardi, that guy?
Mickey Lombardi.
Mick or Nick? Mick with an M.
Yes. He was on the Raiders staff a couple years back.
Yeah, I mean, they just got a good little vibe going. And then I asked Mac about, Purdy and, during the week and the preparation. He's like, yeah, man, during the meetings, when he wanted something clarified, he'd be like, okay, so this is what we're going to do on that. And he would take that time and make sure it was clarified. And he said, for me, I really appreciated him doing that. And he's like, I love Brock. Brock's one of my favorite, one of my best friends on the team. And it's like, didn't you just show up like 45 minutes ago? I mean, you would swear that Mac Jones has been on this team for 5 years. The reaction and the relationships the guy's forged. I mean, I love the guy. To me, he's candid. He's honest. He's real. Yeah. He's like, hey, what'd you think of that interception? He's like, well, I mean, it wasn't that great of a play. I threw it right to him. He's like, I mean, I don't know. I find Mac Jones to be very likable, but I thought it was also really interesting that Brock clearly shares. You know what I mean? He's got all the knowledge. He's got all the wisdom, and he knows the offense the best. I mean, these other guys are neophytes in this offense, and Brock is sharing, and you could hear Mac kind of appreciate that. I just think they got a good vibe going at the quarterback spot. What do you think?
100%. That clip right there when they were like celebrating, I was like, damn, man. First off, Mac Jones, man, he's a dog for finishing that game. He came out second half. I saw a knee brace on him, and I'm like immediately going, he didn't have that knee brace in the first half. So, it turns out he re-aggravated his PCL sprain that he had in, training camp and preseason stuff. He came out, finished the game. Bro was on one leg, game-winning drive, one leg, unbelievable. The amount of pressure that he was on, one leg, his jersey was ripped up. He had the little shoulder pad hanging out. He looked like Eli Manning. And the NFC Championship game, bro, was looking rough, and he was throwing dimes. I mean, they didn't have nobody really to throw other than, obviously Ricky Pearsall. But at that point, Ricky Pearsall and CMC were getting heavily targeted. He's throwing to MVS, or he's throwing to Sky Moore. He's throwing to Kendrick Bourne. Shout out to him. You want to talk about a big vibe guy, Kendrick Bourne. I love his vibes. He's definitely helping this team. He's throwing it to Jake Tonjes out there, game-winning drive to the Patriots. First season was pretty good, and then it just fell apart. And then he goes to Jaguars in a backup, and people wrote him off. I think he's trying to make sure he knows. He's like, this is my only opportunity. He gets sprained PCL. Are you kidding me?
I know. With a big old brace on. And not only that, I mean, this thing is a freaking dime.
I know.
Right over fender.
Every route. Watching that game was insane. Just seeing he's always open. His route running is incredible, Larry. Ricky Pearsall is an absolute star in the making. I know it's early. It's 3 teams, whatever. And I know we don't have a lot of other receivers, so he's like the only guy there. But, dude,
which makes it harder, I think.
Unbelievable. Yeah, you'd think he'd be double teamed. He's always
I asked him,
Larry.
I said, hey, man, did you look around in the pregame and feel the pressure knowing there was nobody else was there? It was like it was going to be you or nothing, right? And he's like, no, his answer was so great because he's like, I was just thinking to myself, man, I'm going to get a bunch of targets, which is the right way to think.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and the guy's got 4.41 speed, 42-inch vertical. So he's got some juice to his game. This guy went in the first round, not just because he's a nice guy, but he is. I'll say this though. He's one of the most normal, nice guys there are. I mean, like, I mean, he's just maybe someday he's going to become a star and maybe he'll become a jerk and self-centered at that point. But right now he's just like, he's like any guy. He's like the ultimate common man right now. He's a really down to earth, easy guy to talk to and ask questions to. He's got, you give him a good question and he will give you a terrific answer. And he's a young guy. He's like having fun. It's awesome to watch, man. Awesome to watch. But yeah, remember last year a lot of people were showing this. And I'll put it up here because now it's also a good time to show this. This was the draft position. Pearsall went 31. Leggett went 32. Keon Coleman went 33. Ladd McConkey went 34. I thought there was another one in there too. But,
a lot of people ripped us up for doing it.
4 receivers in a row. If those guys were drafted again, how would they go? How would they be drafted? I mean, Pearsall might not be 1, but he wouldn't be 4.
No, he'd be 2. I think it would go Ladd McConkey, Ricky Pearsall, Keon Coleman, and Xavier Leggett.
Keon Coleman just had a huge day, though.
Good. He's been good. He's got Josh Allen.
Yeah. I think you're probably right. I think you'll probably go McConkey, Pearsall, Coleman, and Leggett. Now, Leggett is the rawest of them. But, by the way, here's another little graphic. NFL completed air yards.
Number 1.
Look at that. Number 1 in front of JSN, in front of Puka, in front of Neighbors. How good can Ricky become? Raj, what do you think?
I mean, he's a first-round talent, like Trent Williams said. Sky's the limit with this offense. His connection, like this is the thing. He's built a really strong connection with Brock, and he's built a really strong connection with Mac. You saw it in training camp. Like, he was on whoever was the receiver, he was like on point with. So I think he can go pretty far. I think he could become maybe a top 10 to 15 receiver. Absolutely. I think this, he is a first round talent. He's showing it. He's got elite ball tracking skills. He's got unbelievable route running. His hands are good. He's got some swagger to him. As a wide receiver, you kind of want to have that cockiness to, like, oh, I'm going to go out there and beat this DB. Like, he's starting to get more confident. And not only that, he's been through more than any other receiver out there in the NFL. Look at this. He got shot, came back, got a second chance on life. Like, he's got nothing but blue skies ahead. And I think he knows it. He's like, look, I'm playing with no fear. I'm going to go out there and do whatever I got to do. So I think he has a chance to become a very special player in this league. And he's growing way ahead. He's doing great things, man, already. It's crazy. You showed that chart, air yards, and actually the top 3 receivers all are in the NFC West. It's actually amazing. This division is crazy, man. It's a lot of talent.
Let's finish up with Eddie. Eddie's feeling good. Here it is at the end.
I love that.
Let's go! Grateful. Thank y'all for popping out. Week 3 dub, baby. Let's go! Thank you, 49ers fans. We need you. We need you here next week. We appreciate you and we love you. Thanks for the support. Grateful. Thank you so much for staying the course, staying with us. We found a way. We're always going to find a way, no matter how dirty it is. Let's go. Keep it going. Go
City! That's awesome. Hey, can we talk about real quick how, you know what? Jake Moody might be the MVP of our season. If we go on a deep run and we win a Super Bowl, shout out to Jake Moody for missing your kicks, because without you missing those kicks, you don't get cut and we don't get Eddie P, man. That guy, what a guy, man. That kick was amazing. The Niner, I mean, you were there. It was an amazing feeling. I love Eddie P, man. He's straight cash, homie.
Oh my God. Here we go. This is another great little moment. We'll show this one. This is a good one too. I mean, the fans love these things. They love these moments. Here's Saleh greeting Eddie in the locker room. This is a good one here. Here we go. Let's see. Yeah, there we go.
Let's go, man. Good boy, Eddie. Good boy, Eddie. All right, guys, hey, bring it up.
Guys, unbelievable job, man. The fortitude of you guys, the resilience, the character, whatever happened in that game, guys, you guys didn't panic. We got it done, man. I tell you, I told you guys last night, whoever ran the ball better win this game. That was awesome football. All right, when I look at that and I go down to the end of that game, all right, Mac, you battling through that. D, you guys gave us a chance to run away with it. Upton Stout, where are you, man?
Let's do it.
What y'all boys taught me the most, learn how to battle, get hard. Don't put your head
Two
down. Always
beeps.
keep your head up and just get ready for the next play. Let's get ready for next week. Appreciate y'all.
Love you guys. Hell of a win. Enjoy it tonight. We'll see you guys tomorrow, man.
Let's go, baby! Family on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Good stuff. Looks like Eddie's fitting in pretty nicely. It's amazing when you make a few kicks.
I told you he's going to be a hero. He said it too. He goes, if I don't make him, I'm going to be off this team. Like, that mindset he has is amazing. And I said it when they signed him. I said, he's going to make some big kicks and people are going to love it. It's so easy to like him because all he has to do is make the dang kicks that Jake couldn't make. And he's a hero. Give him the key to the city. If he continues to play like this and not miss kicks, he's going to be one of the favorite Niners, like a very, very fan favorite. I'm telling you, man. He's already got everybody hyped on him. He could start putting out merch if he keeps making these kicks, and people are going to buy it up. Eddie P, man, Eddie Dinero. I'm so happy.
Dude, if you just printed the Eddie Dinero shirts.
I know.
I mean, that right there. I think the Krug show, we're going to have to go to the Krug show store. I'm going to have to talk to Kev. We're going to have to design the Eddie Dinero shirts.
You might need to.
I'll wear it on the show and then it will explode. It'll explode.
You'll make some money, my boy.
We're going to do the Eddie Dinero shirt. I got
any signs.
I'm going to talk to Kev after the show. Eddie Dinero. That's we got to write that down. That's that. Something tells me people will buy the Eddie.
They will
De
buy
Niro
it.
shirt.
I'm telling you, man.
Maybe just a simple red shirt with white font. Maybe you get a white
Eddie
shirt
De
with red
Niro on the
font.
back. Straight cash, homie. Straight
Awesome.
cash, Eddie.
We'll finish with this one because to me, this is also one of the best sound bites of the. Oops, wrong button. You think I would be able to do this by now? Here we go. This is the last sound bite, but here we go. This is a good one. This is McCorkle.
No, it's my favorite of the.
With his houndstooth jacket.
This is so good, dude.
So it wasn't like he made a good play. I mean, good for him. He caught it, like awesome. But like it was the technically second part of my read, and I took a hitch to it and ripped it. I don't know, and he was standing right there, so I just got to get off of it. And I had an outlet down the sideline. That would have been my like second part of the read. So could definitely do that, or just throw it over his head and maybe play fourth down, or whatever. Try and kick a field goal. I know it was pretty far at that point. But yeah, I never want to do that. But at the end of the day, like I did rip it and committed to my throw, so I won't take that one back.
Oh, play it back. I need to hear the laugh again.
Here we go.
I mean, I threw it right to the guy, so it wasn't like he made a good play. I mean, good for him. He caught it, like awesome. But like,
great.
Good for him. He caught it. Oh,
Good for him. He caught it.
Funny, dude.
Easy to like that guy, definitely. I got a
Like
frog in my
George
throat.
McFly from Back to the Future, dude. That is amazing.
All right, we'll hit some supers and we'll bolt for the door. It's smoking hot in here. We got this one from Larry Ramirez. Oh, by the way, we should tell people because why not? We're doing this. We got over almost 2,000, almost 2,200 people in the room. Thanks to everybody for jumping in. We are brought to you by our good friends at Habas Law. And thank you to Habas Law for being a proud sponsor of the Kreuger Show. We'll take the comment down for just a sec. There we go. But yeah, thanks to Habas Law. 1-800 injured. They will fight to make it right. Habas Law. They do an incredible job. Omar and Tarek Habas, great guys, great attorneys. They're partnered with the Kreuger Show, and I love these guys. They do an incredible job. My dad was an attorney. My brother's an attorney, and I'm now a judge. My sister's an attorney. You know, if you need a good attorney, man, you really need a good attorney. And anytime you need an attorney, you want to make sure you have a good one. And Habas Law, they're great attorneys. Omar Habas, Tarek, they're great. They're fantastic lawyers. And if you need someone in your corner, call the firm the insurance companies are hoping that you would never call. And that's Habas Law. They will fight to make it right. Visit their website, habaslaw.com on the web, HABBAS law.com on the web. 1-800-INJURED. They will fight to make it right. And Habas Law brings us our end of the show super chats tonight. And here we go. Right off the top. Larry Ramirez, bro, on the right, looks like he'd sell me a scam coin. Oh, come on. What are you going at Raj? You can't go at Raj. Batman 29, is Brock a more reckless thrower compared to Mac? Mac's got one pick. Brock's got two. Brock is, don't let the cover fool you. Brock's a risk taker. Brock's a riverboat gambler. Brock drives the ball down the field. I think Brock's more of a riverboat gambler than 90% of the quarterbacks in the league. I think Mac is much more of a kind of a, I don't want to say captain check down, but he's much more likely to check it down. I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think Brock's more like you said, gunslinger. He's kind of got that Brett Favre mentality where he's going to take risks.
Yeah, it's like Baker Mayfield, sort of. You know, similar. They'll take a lot of risks.
Yeah.
We got this one from Beats and Meats. He says Bosa and Hendrickson on the D line next year would be diabolical. Yeah, I mean that would be the one thing. If you did get Hendrickson and you could sign him, then you'd have the two of those guys on the line. It would be amazing with also Bryce Huff and Mykel. I mean, seriously, who else do you need? At that point, that would be just a ridiculous line. It would be the most expensive line probably as well. Greg RJZ says, wasn't Cowboy from the Bengals? Hendrickson, yep.
Justin Smith, the Cowboy, yeah. Yeah,
he was a Bengal. Believe it or not, Justin Smith was a defensive end at Missouri. He was 260 pounds. Kid Trickster, not a fan of Hendrickson. Sign Bucks Dixon Cider. It's really funny. Dixon Cider. Get it? Hey, that's great. Thanks, Kid Trickster. Yeah, we know Dixon Cider. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. It's a good one. Good one, Kid Trickster. It's a real good one. Clarence Molina back here in the first grade. If they are 5-0, they will push the chips in. Okay. John Kalua. Love the show, guys. Losing Bosa really sucks. It's a big loss, but even with a healthy Bosa, it was hard to see a 49er playoff run with this O-line. Wow, John's already given up the year.
Oh, fuck, man.
Don't play the Kid Trickster. Rakib Jumani. I'm sick of hearing about Bosa. We gave him a king's ransom. He's missed 2 seasons due to injuries. We have other players, and they are balling out. Jesus. Rakib, what is it that you don't like about Bosa? I think we probably need a follow-up there. Something tells me Rakib doesn't like Bosa for other reasons. 49ers squadron. Was CMC a bigger loss last year or Nick this year, Nick? Come on. A big-time defensive end that's as great as Nick Bosa is a bigger loss, I think, than a running back. But, I mean, CMC's great, but you also...
I don't know, man. You see how much
JP Mason. JP Mason was leading the league in rushing. I mean,
for like 2 weeks, and then he got hurt.
Yeah, but, I mean, I don't think whoever replaces Bosa... Something tells me Robert Beal will not be leading the league in sacks. PWS, Jordan running. I know. What is it? If you know, you know. LOL. Jordan run. Do you have Raj? Can you help me on this one?
Oh, that's how my brother was calling me.
Oh,
Jordan run. If you know, you know. I honestly, you got me on that one.
Got me. All right. PWS. Thank you.
I don't know.
MSQ less than 3 KB. He's an absolute.
It's a love sign. Love sign. Love KB. I know that one.
What's that?
He's an absolute vibe booster for this team.
Oh, that's a love sideways. Love KB is an absolute vibe booster. He is a good vibe. He is definitely a good locker room vibe. And him and Ricky already have a coordinated handshake. MSQ is Eddie P gold, but with Jake's kicking power. I don't think he has Jake's kicking power, but who cares?
He's not supposed to be a far kicker, but knocks him 51 yards.
The most overrated part of a kicker is the distance. Give me the accuracy all day, every day.
Yeah, just make the damn kick, dude.
Guess what? If a guy can't kick it from 55, guess what? You don't try it, right? Yeah. If you know a guy can't kick from 55, you don't try it. So,
just get in the range, man.
Yeah, get in his range. EQ Vista.
I'm still laughing at that Kid Trickster calling, man. That was good.
Don't feed into it. Best kickers in the league are soccer players. The best kickers in the league are veterans. Though the Dallas guy was pretty good. Speedy T says, "Hey, $4.99, just Speedy T.
$5.
Letting us know he's there." MSQ, LOL, breathe, Raj, breathe. Yes, it was that funny, MSQ.
Oh,
all right,
yeah,
that's going to do it for us. We're an hour and 20 minutes into our live stream. We're going to run for the door. Somebody asked me early in the stream what position I played in football. I played defensive end and tight end. I started off as a quarterback, but too stupid to learn all the plays. No, actually, I was the backup quarterback, and then I was like, I'm tired of being the backup quarterback. I want to play. They're like, oh, well, you can play defensive end. I'm like, all right, let's play defensive end. So I played defensive end. I started off as a quarterback, and then when I lost the starting job, I became a tight end and a defensive end. There you go. So
you got one more super, Larry.
Do I?
Yeah. PWS, he made up for that.
PWS. Myles Garrett was rushing Love, and Rasheed Walker, the left tackle, got beat by Garrett. He said, Jordan run, LOL.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Okay, yeah. He was running. Okay, I do remember that clip. Now that it's on the NFL page. They got a clip of that.
Hey man, if the Browns want to move Myles Garrett, I'll take him as well. He's pretty freaking special. All right, that is our super chat segment brought to you by Habas Law. 1-800 injured. They will fight to make it right. All right, that's going to do it for us. Thanks to all of you. Thanks to Raj. Raj, what do you got cooking the rest of the week? Anything big you want to report on? We got almost over 2,000 people watching the stream tonight.
Oh, yeah, nothing big, just keeping it going, RSF 49ers, posting all the news. just stay with us. And
what's your pregame tailgate situation? Will you be tailgating in the lot before Jacksonville, or what's
I always go. So Ken from 49ers Tailgate.
Yeah.
I hang out with him. He's like the king of the tailgates. We go around, we do content, we go visit a bunch of people. We'll have some of our sponsors come and we'll show them a good time. So I hang out with him, and we have like an amazing time at the tailgates with the Gold Rush people and everybody, like all the people that he knows and that he's involved with. And then after that, I bounce out, get all the food I can get, and then head to the stadium and get down to get some content and watch the game. But I'm always hanging out with Ken, my boy from 49ers Tailgate. He's the man. He runs the tailgates, man. So he's the man.
All right, be looking at the Kreuger Show store online here. I'm going to talk to Kev once he comes back from his little weekend down in Southern Cal. I'm gonna get him. The Eddie De Niro shirt is coming. Eddie De Niro. So what are you thinking? Eddie De Niro up front, and then on the back, what do you want?
Oh man,
you want a picture of Eddie?
Maybe I don't see. That's the thing. There's some like licensing. You got to figure that out. Yeah. You can't put like team likenesses.
Right.
So picture might be maybe not. You got to see how that works. But you got to put like straight cash or money sign.
Maybe some money.
Money sign, like a big money sign or a dollar sign. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Eddie De Niro. They're going to be hot. They're going to sell well. They're going to sell well. All right, that's going to do it for us. For Raj, I'm Larry. Have a great night, everybody. Peace.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful, you won't